Moon Babes, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, thank you so much for tuning in. Today's video is going to be about my new blonde kinky straight eye tip hair extensions, how I made them, where you can buy them, and of course installing them as microlink extensions. So if you are interested in that, then please keep watching. Alright, let's talk about things you'll need. So firstly, you're going to need at least 100 to 60 strands if you are using 1 gram per strand eye tips. I learned this lesson the hard way, okay? So if you're going to be making your eye tips yourself, you'll most likely make them at a 0.5 gram per strand. And for that, you're going to need about 200 to 300, in my personal opinion, totally not a professional, don't come for me. Next thing you'll need is microlink beads in various sizes. So again, if you are buying your eye tips, they'll most likely be 1 gram. You're going to need 5 mm. And if you are making them yourself, they'll mostly be 0.5. So you might need the smaller ones like 4. Alright. Next thing you'll need are hair pliers. And make sure the hair pliers that you get have the bead hole that is big enough to remove the beads that you have. You'll also need a hair loop threader to thread the hair. And the optional items are needed if you're going to make your own eye tips and if you need to install a braidless sew-in track like I did. Alright, now let's talk about where you can get them. Most of the stuff you'll be able to get from Amazon, easy peasy, no worries. For some things you might actually need to go on eBay and get them there. So things like the 7mm beads can be found on eBay. Alright guys, so for this video I'll be making my own eye tips. I'm using the keratin glue in clear and I'm just pouring some out on the table. The bead sizes I'm using are 5mm and 4mm, so I'm going to keep one of each out just to make sure the sizing is good when I make them. First thing I'm going to do is cut off the weft from my bundles. You can buy my hair on my website. I'll link that all in the description box. After that, I'm going to take off the mustache from the top of the track, and then I'm going to place 1 keratin glue bead on the fusion tool, let it heat up for about 10 seconds, and then I'll go ahead and completely saturate a very small strand of the hair in the fusion tool and make sure it is completely saturated, okay? And you don't have to be super conservative with your glue beads. If you need more glue, you can add a bead or 2 to make sure that the hair is evenly covered. After that, I'll let the hair cool for about 5 seconds or so and then twist it in between my fingers. And then once that is all done, I'll go ahead and cut the top off so it's really neat. And here is my keratin or my eye tip strand. This is about a 5 or 0.5 strand, and this is the 1 gram strand. Okay, so you guys can see the difference, and that's me making sure that the bead fits on the strand. Okay, so here we go installing, y'all. Okay, so 2 things. First of all, installing the microlinks is easy and hard at the same time. Like the first few times it's like kind of throws you for a loophole, but after you do it a few times you get it. So I'm gonna briefly talk about what I'm doing in this little piece, and then I'll tell you guys what I did wrong like later on in the video. Okay, so I was watching a lot of videos and some people were saying not to flat iron your hair before installing the eye tips, but then I was looking at professional stylists and they were flat ironing their clients' hair before installing the eye tips. So I went ahead and flat ironed mine, and then after that, I know this is a little blurry right here. After that, you're gonna grab a really small section, like tiny. The piece that I just grabbed, way too big. Like I should have cut that in half, but that's okay. It's my first time. Was bound to make mistakes, you know, it's okay. And then I'm just gonna grab an eye tip and slide it into the bead. So as you guys can probably see, I'm leaving a lot of space between my bead and my scalp. You don't want your bead on your scalp. There should be a decent amount of space between that bead and your scalp. And here we are, I'm at the top. Okay, so here is another big boo-boo that I did when I was installing my clips. Can you guys see the tip of the eye tip extensions? You see how it's poking out through the bead? It shouldn't be like that. Okay, again, like this is my first time doing it. But you should not be installing your eye tips like that. The tips of your beads should not, or the tips of your eye tips should not be poking out through the beads, okay? The tip of the eye tip should be hidden within the bead. You see how I just pushed it all the way through? Girl, when I say I thought I was doing something, I truly thought I was doing something with that, okay? And then after that, after you put the bead in, you're just gonna clamp it shut. Now, I was also watching other videos where people were like, don't clamp it shut too tight or else it'll cut the hair right out. I'm not sure what beads they were using, girl, but I was putting all my force into clamping those beads and none of my hair was cut. All the beads I use have keratin on the inside, have like a little keratin coating, so maybe that's why. But yeah, I was clamping my beads shut with all my force. I didn't have a problem. I didn't have any issue. But I also used hair pliers. I didn't use any, like industrial tools or anything. All right, y'all. So here we are the next day. This is about 200 eye tips and a few braidless tracks in the top because I was tired of making eye tips. I didn't want to make any more, so I just put in some braidless tracks at the top. And you know what? For a first time, y'all, this doesn't look too bad. Like, I am not mad. My hair is super short because I cut it recently I don't even know what I was going through, but I just cut it. But you know what? Like, even with that, it's not too bad. There's a few tips showing that are near my ear, but like, I'm not even that worried about that. I think it came out pretty decent. So I'm just gonna brush it through very lightly. Be gentle, y'all. Ooh, be gentle. Like, my hair isn't like tender or anything after putting the eye tips in, but still be gentle. And then I'm just gonna do some quick wand curls on my hair. Nothing fancy, nothing amazing, just putting it in, getting it done. I probably took like 10 minutes to curl my hair. Like, it was super quick. And here we are, all done, all those little candy cane curls. And then I'm just gonna go back in with the wand tool and lightly press down on the back of my hair because that's where my hair is shorter, or the shortest, I guess. And I don't want any of the beads showing. After that, just combing out the curls. And y'all, I think it came out really good, to be quite honest. Like, I'm not mad. My hair is super short. I wasn't even sure if it was gonna work. And like, look at this. Like, we're definitely not, on the same level as a professional, but I think we did pretty good, y'all. Like, I'm not mad at all. I think we did really good. I went to work the next day and all the white people were like, oh my God, is that your hair? And I feel like at that point, you've done some good. All right, you guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. It was really short, really fun. So I hope you guys had a good time. If you are curious about buying blonde kinky straight eye tips, you can buy them from my website at madebybabe.co. And I will talk to you guys on the next video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you all later. Bye.